Upon reading all of the activities and then moving on to the pre-lab questions, I understand that Lab 4 is geared towards giving students a well-rounded understanding of chemical and physical changes. I can see how the lab activities progressively give us more and more steps and like skills to see the physical versus chemical changes in process, and how the different chemicals and the different like materials will result in a physical or a chemical change. Upon starting activity 1, I have placed 2 milliliters of hydrochloric acid in this first tube and 2 milliliters of sodium carbonate in this tube. I have already taken it upon myself to record the color and temperature in the data tables, but now I will film myself mixing them together, and I'm very excited to see what happens. Take them and whoa! Cool. So I can see that there's a gas being released and lots of bubbles. So I will finish the rest of the experiment and come back and record myself doing the next part. I have recorded all the data for activity 1, and now starting activity 2, I used 10 milliliters of water in this tube and 0.3 grams of the sodium polyacrylate powder in this test tube. So I'm going to mix them together now. Oh, and I've pre-recorded the like before stuff. Cool. Oh, my first impression, I can see how the powder kind of came up through the water and then just poof, and like it's a gel. It's a gel. So I am going to insert my thermometer to kind of give it a mix, but oh yeah, it's thick. Not as thick as like a bath gel, but thicker than like a pancake syrup. I'm going to record the temperature and then finish making all of the logs on my data table, and I will be back for the next activity. Starting activity 3, I have 2 milliliters of copper sulfate in this test tube and 2 milliliters of sodium carbonate in this test tube. I have already recorded the color and temperatures of both of them separately. Now I'm going to mix them and record the temperature again. Mix. Fun. Okay. Nice and thick. All right. So I'll now take my temperature. Not my temperature, the temperature of the two materials. I'll throw a little bit. And we'll just wait and see. And then I record the following data in the table. After reading the instructions for activity 4 and recording all of the current data with the candle, I will simply light it on fire and then record any further observations. I hate this. Ah! I will observe the candle being lit for a few minutes while I just make sure that that match does not catch anything else on fire. Cool. It's melting. Wax is turning clear, but we all know it'll harden again, so cool. After recording all of the other required descriptions from the candle being lit, I will now relight the candle and hold this nice chunky ice cube, my ice cube, smoothing around, over the flame, and I guess we'll find out what happens, as if we don't already know. Ah! Every time. Just make sure that the match is properly extinguished. And I have my forceps. And just, oh, what do you know? It's melting. I'll just like make sure like it's not burned or anything. And now I will be conducting the rest of the required observations for part B of activity 4. I forgot to press record, but I put 1 drop of the phenolphthalein solution, and this is the pink blob I have going on in the middle. Before putting the drop in, I put the 2 milliliters of sodium hydroxide, and I recorded the temperature, and I recorded the color, and I put it all in the appropriate data table. But this is like my floaty thing.